Hey, good morning, growers. This is Mike from Growtopia. And I have a very interesting thing to tell everybody really quick. And we're going to make this video extremely short. The age-old question that had been driving me since I started this Growtopianess the past couple months. And I've been really diving into stuff. And one of my biggest age-old questions was, what the heck is determinate and indeterminate, and what's the difference? I'm going to tell you that really quickly. But right now, a view from our sponsors. Oh, wait, we don't have any. Anyway, straight to the information. Determinate tomatoes. As soon as I say it, you're going to figure it out. Determinate means they only grow to a certain height. The determinant to grow to a certain height. The determinate plant tomatoes, you do not want to trim. You don't want to trim them because being that they grow to a certain height, they'll have a flower on top, and that's basically saying, this is as far as I am. I'm a lighthouse. This is it. I can't go any higher. You don't trim them. The only thing you want to do on determinate tomatoes is any of the yellowing dead leaves that are on the bottom that might have disease or anything that got to them. You just want to trim them off very nicely with little snippers, not rip them off the plant. And that's it. Indeterminate tomatoes will grow all season long until they get killed by the frost. Now you could trim the suckers off on them. That's if you want your plant to be if you don't want your plant to be unruly. Meaning, if your plant's growing like this, and my pinky's a sucker, which apparently I can't move away. Okay, this is a sucker. If I leave this alone, the plant's going to go that way as well. And actually, I have a couple of them out there that are literally looking like they're doing the YMCA out there. But that's fine. You know why? Because that little sucker that you removed grew a branch, and that branch out there actually has 6 tomatoes on it. So if you want a small plant, you remove the suckers. Otherwise, don't remove the suckers and let the plant grow and just give it some extra room. Do like I did with the trellis, with the tomato strings. That's it. Just bring the strings down. If you got to put another one, you put 2 more screw hooks up, put another string, bring it down, and grab that arm. That's it. So, determinate grows constantly and doesn't stop. Determinate grows to a certain point and stops. Indeterminate grows constantly and doesn't stop until it's killed by the frost. Now we know that determinate grows at a certain height and indeterminate grows all season long. How do we tell what plants they are? Well, if we go to our tomato packets, and I know probably a lot of you have noticed this, but the problem is you can't find this information on the internet because every time I Google or YouTube anybody, nobody gets straight to the point. On the back of your tomatoes, I'm going to pull one of my tomatoes out because trying to juggle the book wasn't working for me. Let's see. On the back of the seed packets will actually tell you what they are. So here is the Rio Grande, okay? If you look at the back of the seed packet, it actually says right down here, determinate, tomato type determinate. Same thing with the pumpkin. The pineapple tomato. On the bottom, it says indeterminate. So, that's great. Now you know that determinate tomatoes only grow to a certain height. So that means that when I look at my tomatoes and I'm planning on where I'm going to put them, for my Rio Grande tomato, I know it's going to be a short tomato. And honestly, it says pluck the tomatoes when they are red and ripe, harvest from June to September. 8 to 10 weeks before last frost. Now, I had talked to a farmer that grows tomatoes in massive bulk that I deal with on a weekly basis. And I asked him, when do you start doing your tomatoes? Because by looking at his tomato plants and the heights, how big these suckers are, now I know he's growing indeterminate tomatoes. His tomatoes will grow all season long. They are huge. They are 6 feet tall. They're insane. And he's got a ton of them. And he said to me he actually starts sowing his seeds into seed trays on New Year's Day. And around March or April, he puts them in his greenhouse. And at that point, he starts another batch of tomatoes. So, this year around, I'm going to be doing the exact same thing. So on New Year's Day, I'm going to be sowing my tomato seeds into my seed trays, because currently, for the month of January, the only thing I have on tap to do is my jalapenos. My jalapenos you want to plant mid-January. So, with that being said, I'm going to be doing that with my tomatoes as well. Get my jalapenos and my tomatoes going at the same time. And I know the jalapenos like more of a warmerness. The tomatoes you could play with, he was saying, meaning that, of course his greenhouse is heated and mine's not, so that kind of causes a few little issues for me. But if I see what the temperature is on my greenhouse, maybe I can actually stick some tomatoes in there. And I might actually even do so, is have, one set of tomatoes growing in the greenhouse for shits and giggles, and another one trying to find a warm spot in my house. So, anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. So remember, indeterminate and determinate tomatoes are listed on the back of the seed packet. Oh, and one more thing before we go. There are tomato seeds, kind of like the ones that I get from Homegrown. They don't say anything at all about if they're determinate or indeterminate. The only thing I do see with them is that they talk about plant height, 4 to 6 feet, plant height 5 to 7 feet. Now that could be determinate or indeterminate. It doesn't say it. I got a seed packet from, which one is this one? This is Gardener's Basics, and on the back of it says nothing at all about determinate or indeterminate tomato. It's a Romana VF, is a open pollinated variety rather than a hybrid. Through improvement, most of the Romana tomato vines are vermiculum and ferocium wilt resistant. So, not sure. But it does say planting spacing 18 to 36 inches. So it makes me think that it is a indeterminate, because indeterminate grow big, and if you don't remove the suckers, they go to the side. So that's the only thing I could think of with the width of try to figure them out. 36 inches, we're looking at 3 feet, but that's basically the same for all of them. So anyway, guys, it's on the back of your seed packet. If it's not on the back of your seed packet and you grow those seeds, just remember to write down later on. Try to keep note of it. But you can, you could look it up. Like, for example, my beefsteak is I have a homegrown brown packet for the beefsteak, but I also have a Gardener's Basics seed packet. On the back of the Gardener's Basics, it says the beefsteak tomato is indeterminate. I would say, honestly, you want to have both, but if you definitely got to, now that I know that indeterminate, meaning that it's going to grow exponentially all season long. So that means that this is going to be a long, viney motherfucker, and I'm going to have a constant harvest from it all summer long, and all I do is just remove the dead leaves as it grows up. Dead leaves or the diseased leaves from it. And that's really it, guys. So, like, subscribe, share it with your friends and family. I hope this guy's cleared up the air on you as well. For me, it was starting to irritate the shit out of me because nobody can tell me anything straight to the point. I'd look it up, and everybody would be like, "Yeah, determinate tomatoes, you do this, and indeterminate tomatoes, you do that." And I'd be like, "What? Which one is a determinate? And which one's indeterminate? How the fuck do I know?" And I just had like an epiphany. Why don't you look at the back of the seed packet, asshole? So I looked at the back of the seed pack, and I go, "Oh shit." I know. Something so simple, but yet so complicated by not paying attention. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. See you later.